seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes.
Is there anybody out there that wants to roll? And is there anybody out there that wants to boogie? Tonight, live from the Apollo, Glasgow.
Well, if you're looking for trouble, I'm the man to see. If you're looking for satisfaction, the satisfaction guaranteed. I'm as cool as a body on ice. Out to them the rolling dice. Send you to heaven, or take you to hell. I ain't fooling, can't you tell? I'm a live one.
Welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with Scott and Andy.
Oh, you caught me having my Erdinger there. Good evening and welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur.
Oh no, I've done it again.
Oh dear. Right, so it's going to be mayhem again this week.
And me and Andy Muir.
Well done, mate. Well, you just
I'm Andy Muir. What am I talking about? Me and
well,
Andy
that's a good
Muir.
job, mate. Yeah, just out his bed. Talk a bit lazy, yeah. Look at the time, mate. It's 9:30 and you're just at your bed. What have you been doing?
Just out my scratcher.
All right. Well, hello, folks. Well, tonight, interesting week. So, it's the 20th of August, and in Apollo history, there was no gigs this week.
Yes.
None. Unbelievable.
Well,
It's
we
the
were
first time
very
it's ever
close.
happened. Sorry?
We were very close to having one gig
Ah,
until
yes.
I amended the record.
Yes, we thought Boney M
Mm,
played this week, didn't we?
It was
But,
thought it was going to be Boney M, but
Nah.
I checked the sites. I checked Smash Hits.
He did as well. He really did. He sent me a PDF of smash hits.
Smash Hits, and they told me that they had done 2 gigs in September. So it's awful for us that we didn't get to listen to Boney M this week. But
Yes.
we'll have to do that in September, maybe.
Yeah. We need
That
to have
was,
a Boney M
awful.
special. We'd quite a lot of folk saying, I was at that gig. Did you notice that?
Oh, they were very popular.
They were popular.
That
my
was
mum
a
and dad
sold-out
like
tour, 19, I can't remember, 82, 87, something like that.
Oh, that's
Not
good.
82.
It's a 5-year gap. Actually, that's probably more accurate than I am some weeks. Anyway, right. So this week's going to be different. We're going to play a little bit more music. So we're going to play 3 pieces of music. So we can witter about those 3 different bands. There's 3 big bands everybody knows. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. We've got a video memory from somebody from across the water. And it's not Doug. He was on last week. So that should be good. It's a cracker, an absolute beauty. And we've got the various things that we do every week. So that's going to be the format of the show this week. So mate, what have you been listening to this week?
Stop. This week,
Again,
I'm just switching myself off.
have you had a coffee yet?
I've had a quarter mug of tea.
Oh, it's not got enough caffeine in it, mate.
Shush. What have I listened to? I listened to some Beatles. Like 5 Beatles albums this week.
Controversial.
No, they're good. Well, I like them. And I listened to a band called Down, who
Remember them?
Rock, like a screamy rock band, sort of antecedent of Down, of Pantera. Antecedent or descendant? They're a descendant of Pantera. The singer is in Pantera. And I listened to another band called Shinedown, an American band, kind of okay, grungy, Alice in Chainsy, They're all right. They did what they did, and they did a lot of money. They made a lot of money in America.
Yeah, they were all right.
Kind of Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. They're all right.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw them.
Can't remember any of the songs, but
no, it's kind of what I'm like as well. I mean, I saw them at who were they supporting? Was it Heaven and Hell they supported or somebody like that? And
no, that was Down.
Was it Down? Right, I saw them anyway. I can't remember who they were supporting, but there was quite a lot of folk there really into them. I remember that because there was, that's about a 15,000 seater place, and there must have been, I don't know, 20 or 30 folk really enjoyed it. But no, there was a good couple of thousand went down the front and were jumping about, But yeah, they're okay. They're quite popular.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. I've been listening to Liliac, the Transylvanian family metal band.
No.
You don't know them? What planet have you been on? What planet?
I'm in Planet Australia, mate.
I guess that says a lot. They're a bunch of kids who used to busk on Santa Monica Pier, and they usually do like Dio songs and Aussie songs, and they're over singing, overacting, overplaying. They're doing everything too much, but she's got a bloody good voice. She sounds like Ronnie. She sounds like Ronnie, man.
I think I've seen them. Yes.
Well, they're everywhere. They're all over the socials.
I'm not all over the socials.
They're all over the Facebooks, and I've been listening to Hans Zimmer because I've been working, so I've had Hans Zimmer on in the background. I love Hans Zimmer. You know the Interstellar film.
Yeah.
Beautiful film and a stunning soundtrack. So I've been listening to that pretty loud when I was writing. So anyway, let's see who's in the room. There's a load of them here. Here we go. Remember, again, if you are in the Facebook group and you're coming in here and your name doesn't appear, all you need to do is click on the wee link at the top of the group. You see it in the admin right at the very top of the group where I put the show starts and tours. In there's a little link you can follow that will make your name pop up. Because if you don't, it'll be like this guy. Hi, Scandi. I think we know who that is. But the thing is, if I say who I think it is, I'll get it wrong, so I'm not going to say anything. Hello, Facebook user. John, yeah. John, your Facebooks is amazing. John is on a world tour of Scotland, obviously with his rail card. So it's been brilliant watching your trips around the country, mate.
Obviously with his rail card.
Aye, he's amazing. He's all over the place. It's terrific. Bon, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Hi guys from Facebook user. If you've never been on before, stick your name and where you're coming in from in the chat. We'd like to know where you are. Hi Chris, how are you doing? I watched Chris play guitar in a video this week. Very good, mate. You're a good player.
I watched them in a band. They were doing Blindside. Is that what they're called?
Aye.
Blindside.
Something like that. Yeah. Dave Wilson saying mayhem already. Yeah, I know. We're doing our best to pad this out because we've got nothing to talk about. That's not true. Oh, we know who this is, right? The runaway train come over the hill and she blew. Yeah. But you've been up to mischief as usual. Boots on the website. Doug, hello, Doug. How are you? He brings some sense and sort of normality to the group. Cheryl's here. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Says hello to everybody. Tony's here as well. Hi, Tony. How you doing? Hello, boys and girls. And then finally, I can't get that one to work. Why is that one not working? Facebook user saying hi, guys. Right. So there we go. Thanks very much. Oh, there's more. Oh, goodness me. Look at this. Hang on. I better say hello to everybody. Terry, how you doing, Terry? 40 years ago today, heading down on the bus from the Apollo to see AC/DC. I was on that bus. And guess what one of the songs is tonight? Because I had to. I'll never forget that. So we'll maybe talk a bit more about that when we get into the bit, Terry. Hello there. We are watching live with my family. Oh, hello. Whoever you are. Who are you? Because your name's not coming up. Hello there, family. And someone's in from Rutherglen. Is it Ruglen, Deborah? Ruglen. My brother used to have a girlfriend from Rutherglen and she called it Ruglen. Is that right? Is it Ruglen, Andy? Am I just talking nonsense again? I'm just talking. Sorry, it doesn't
my
matter.
gran lived. My mum and dad, not my mum and dad. My dad and my granny used to live in Rutherglen. So
did they?
Never called Rutherglen.
Well, that lassie did. What was her name? Leslie Ann. Do you remember her? Oh, that doesn't matter. Right. Anyway, but she was quite nice. Anyway, so we're going to start the show. Oh, I've got my wee problem again. I can't see what you switch. Hang on. It's not very professional, is it? Oh, I can't do
What
it.
made you think it was professional?
No, I just can't see which. Right, I'm going to play a tune, and
Right, okay.
it's going to be one of 3 tunes. You're bound to enjoy it because there's 3 bangers, as they say these days. So, oh bugger, I can't remember. Oh yes, I do. Right, we're going to start with an absolute cracker. This is a gig that I missed. It's Sammy Hagar from 1982 when he did their absolutely classic shows. I think he did one in 82 and one in 83, didn't he? I think he did.
Maybe.
Is that right? It's nearly right. It's nearly right. I've got the right decade, so it's nearly right.
Yeah.
So it's fine. And and the recording that Radio Clyde did was, I think, probably the best one of all the recordings. I just think it's brilliant. And this is a classic, absolute classic Montrose song. And Sammy, my God, this man can sing. So this is Sammy Hagar doing one of his greatest songs. Just listen to it.
Neil Church, Gary Powers.
I think he was maybe slightly channeling a certain band from the United Kingdom. But my God, see this bit here at the beginning. Hear this bit. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. That would make a good ringtone.
I like it. I love it. That's a good recording from Radio Clyde. Thank you, Radio Clyde and Tom Russell.
Absolutely.
I used to have that on a dodgy C60 cassette or something.
Yes.
Recorded, and it was AM.
Wow.
It wasn't even FM.
Right. God.
Radio Clyde AM, I think.
Sheesh. Well, I had it on a tape as well, and then I put it onto a mini disc, and then I took that off, and it's on my machine now because it really is one of my favourites. And absolutely brilliant.
The version of Whole Lot of Love is amazing.
Brilliant. They were just wondering what to play, weren't they? Because they played for so long that night. I think they just ran out of space.
I don't know. I think it was a good gig.
Just a great gig.
I'm jealous of Kenny Harvey.
Yeah. I've got a ticket, but I wasn't there. Well, I don't think I was there. I don't remember being there.
No, I don't.
No, I think I went to. I think I went to see him in Edinburgh a couple of years later or something. I've definitely seen him, but anyway. So what are folks saying here? Yeah, the names weren't showing up, but I think some of them are starting to show up now. I think maybe Facebook and Restream are having an argument again, guys. So sorry about that. This one made me giggle when this was on. Can't hear. We'll catch up on Sunday. Enjoy your night, Raymond and Sandra. I reckon Raymond will be on later, completely bluttered again, adding lots of value to the after show Zoom.
Yeah. You was good for you last week.
I heard. Well, I was quite pleased last week because I during the after show Zoom, if you've never tuned in before, folks, we have this after show thing where it's between 10 and 15 people and on Zoom, and quite often people fall asleep like this guy, James, your name's showing up now, mate. I think the systems were just trying to catch up with each other. My apologies for that. So it's still working. Facebook user saying, hey, Garnety, awesome. Do you know, right, is this fair? I don't think he's a great songwriter. I think if you go through all his solo albums, there's a good song in every album, but there's not often more than one or two.
Yeah. But that wasn't his song.
No, I know it wasn't his song, but he's got. I remember watching the Chicken Foot, the band he was in for a while. Doing that Deep Purple cover. My God, there's a guy in his 70s, and Jesus Christ, he's fantastic, absolutely brilliant.
Did he do Highway Star? Yeah,
I think it was Highway Star or Space Trucking, one of the classics. It was just extraordinary. It really was. It really was. Somebody just said extraordinary band, extraordinary. And there you go. Deborah's saying that Rugglin is slang for Rutherglen. There you go, mate.
All right.
See,
good on you.
Yeah, not as daft as a look. Well, maybe. And and then who's that? James is saying it sounds like a whole lot of love. It does. And the bit in the middle, especially the sort of airy fairy bit, sounds like Song Means the Same type stuff from Zepp. You cheeky monkey. Right, any more of that, James, I'm kicking you off, and you know I will. Slagging off Led Zeppelin and not Led Zeppelin, slagging off Sammy Hagar. Not good. Barry's in. Hello, Barry. How you doing? Saw him in the Playhouse. So did I. That's when I saw him, because I never saw him at the Apollo. I'm sure I didn't, even if I've got a ticket. And great gig. The support was fantastic as well. It's you, Derek. Hi, Derek. Who was the support? Was it Queensryche?
Maybe.
Who?
No, maybe Riot.
Riot Grand Prix.
Maybe. I could Google it for you.
How about we look, man?
Or I could look up this website, www.glasgowapollo.com.
Bond doesn't agree with me. Bond's saying there's not many bad Hagars. I don't agree with you, Tommy. You listen to like Red and stuff. There's a lot of forgettable songs, I think. But hey, it doesn't matter. Riot. There you go. It was Riot.
What's that? Young Girl Blues.
Aye.
I don't know if that's is that a Montrose song? Anyway, it's a great song. He does a good version.
Brilliant song. I love the guy. I absolutely love him. But I just don't think he's a bit like Ian Gillan, the sort of great singers, not so good songwriters. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and other opinions count more than mine. So anyway, we're going to look at something now that we normally do. Are you ready, young man, over there in Australia? This week on the socials.
Right. Anyway, so I'll clear up your Sammy Hagar support question. Riot supported them in 1980, and Grand Prix supported them in 1982.
See.
So
That's two things I've
that
right.
one there, was that 1982?
That was 82.
Yeah, so
Grand Prix.
That's a good set list though. Oh,
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Two great bands, two great singers.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Socials.
Anyway, where are we? Socials. All right. Riot. Someone's saying Riot. Okay. This week's socials. We had, I think, 26 new members. Thank you very much for joining. Very good. I enjoy watching your new posts. Here's my tickets again. So now we have 9,852 members, which is astounding for me.
Yeah.
And possibly you.
Right.
That people are taking the time out and going, oh, let's have a look at this place. There were 6,453 active members this week, which is amazing. Again, people posting, and there was 35 posts, 782 comments, and 2,443 reactions, and a lot of them were smiley faces and thumbs up. There was a few things going on. Well, I'll give you the top 5 people. It doesn't matter anyway. So number 5, Derek. He's fallen behind, but it's not a competition.
Derek, come on.
There's no gigs. So Derek wasn't at any gigs, so you can't post stuff about gigs because no one was at any gigs because there was no gigs. I hope you've got Anthony Horn, Julie Shaw. Yep, that was the Tubby Army stuff. And Alistair Bell, which was the Sammy Hagar, Sensational Alex Harvey band, still kicking about there. And number 1, Paul Stanley. And what post did you like this week?
Me? There was a few I quite liked. There was.
I enjoyed the Animal Quackers one.
That was good. Where is it? I've got it here. Yeah, that one there.
That was
quite cool. Patsy Valentine.
Valentine. Yeah.
Look
at those guys. That actually, that's very odd. But when I went to sleep last night, I listened to Animal Quackers. Tell us the story, Rory.
Apparently,
there's some saying about that lion there because he's a Scottish lion, I believe. Rory.
Is it?
Yeah, Scottish.
I think that might be the lassie. Is that not the girl? Because Patsy said there was 3 guys and 1 girl in the band. Maybe that looks.
The bass player. I think the bass player.
The
wee
lion.
monkey there.
Oh, aye.
The monkey in the behind there, or maybe it was the tiger. I don't know. But I know the drummer looks like he's in the wrong. In the wrong puppet show. He looks like he's in the other one. Forgot the name of it.
I know what you mean.
I remembered the song, but I don't remember anything about it. I just remembered the song.
I don't remember. What was the song?
Animal Quackers. It was like a little rock song. It's all right.
Yeah.
You know,
it's funny. Every generation has them, don't they? I mean, I remember going to see the Tweenies with my Rory and Anna, who are now in their 20s. We went Aviemore. It was at the Aviemore McDonald Hotel. It must have been, well, let me get this right. Oh, God. 15 years ago. And there was a sort of, they have yellow coats up there. I don't know if any of you guys have been there. And there's all these young people, you know, who are obviously aspiring actors and actresses and stuff. And then they have the big act, and the big act was the Tweenies. And my daughter, honest to God, she nearly wet herself when they walked on. She was so into them at the time. It was magical. It really was. It was great. So, and I know you're a big Wombos fan, mate. So, you know, but there's been who was the Australian one? What was the Australian band?
Well, there's heaps. There was the Wiggles.
The Wiggles. That was the one.
There was High Five.
I knew there was a one with a 5 in it. Yeah, but
Yeah. I saw High Five. Whoa. It's the only place where I've been in a theatre and there was a traffic jam of strollers.
sorry, I'm
They
laughing.
had a special area for strollers, you know.
Right.
But it was mental. Check your stroller here. Right. Anyway, we're getting away from Apollo stuff. Anyway, so I did enjoy Animal Quackers thing.
Oh dear. Chris is saying the monkey used to flying shite at the crowd.
Oh, Chris.
Dearie me, that's taking it down a bit. Quite right, it's quite funny though. And so yeah, that was one of the things. And there was a few other bits and bobs. So let me just remember myself. There was something else I thought was quite good. There was the usual. This stuff came up again. Billy Sinclair posted himself at a train.
Yeah.
That was very good.
I thought that was all right.
That was a good picture. And then we got this is from Lauder's pub.
Yeah, that was Derek took that, yeah.
Derek did that, yeah. And we contacted Lauders this week to see
did we?
if...
Okay.
Did I not tell you this?
No, you didn't tell me anything.
I think I maybe did. Did I know? Sorry if I didn't. And
Keep
do
going.
you know, their customer service is mince. So I'm not bothered with Lauders anymore because I emailed them and I got a standard email back. Please book a table via the app. I don't want to book a frigging table. I want to talk to somebody. So I sent him another one and I got the same email back. So if anybody's in for Lauders, I think we'll go somewhere else.
Talk to them on Facebook.
I did. They just ignore
Oh,
you.
is that on Facebook? Oh,
Aye, they just ignore you. Sods.
all right.
But so I'm not impressed, but you never know. We'll see. This one I like. This I don't know if you saw it, was hiding in the comments. Who knows who this lot are? This was a guy, Douglas. I don't think Douglas is in. Douglas Keane. Do you hear Douglas? Douglas is that keyboard player.
Oh, wow.
And this was a
Oh,
band.
Hammond.
Sorry?
It's a Hammond organ he's playing there.
It looks really cool, doesn't it? And
Well, there's a Hammond there anyway.
looks like
He's
it.
got a large piece of furniture. And there's a Leslie maybe behind him.
And this was taken in the Apollo disco up in Clouds.
Right.
And this is a band called Frenzy, apparently, who supported Ian Gillan and others at the Apollo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but they look quite cool actually. That guy, the
Look at them.
singer. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. Is it? Can you tell? I think it's a boy.
That's it, yeah. A boy. Sorry.
I think it's a boy.
Nice shoes though. Woof.
Yeah, they're happening those shoes. Yeah. But that's a rare picture though. I don't think I've seen many. I mean, I've seen pictures of the ballroom and stuff and the milk bar and bits like that. But sorry, I'm laughing at the comments. But no, I thought that was quite good. So thanks very much, Douglas. I don't know if you're in, but thanks very much. And for that whole stream that was on the site about support bands, and there was another guy who was a singer in one of the bands. Was also in there, and they were having a right old good chat about when they used to play at the Apollo and other venues around the place. So it's great. George, is it Tucker? George Tucker? Is it George Tucker?
Don't know me.
Can't remember. But anyway, so it was nice. It was nice.
Good.
James, you're actually being funny here. Was he not throwing Jacob's products, cream quackers? Oh dear. And the guy in the guitar looks constipated. Well, don't know about that, but anyway, so no, I thought that was great because I think that's one of the very few. I mean, I have seen some pictures, but that is one of few that that I remember seeing, mate, from up there. So that's a bit of a find.
When I saw the picture there, I thought, oh, those tiles look familiar because they look like the ones that were down the stairs when you used to come in the entry.
Aye.
The stairs that they put in to probably cover up
damp,
like so they didn't have to pay to paint it, you know.
But, so that was quite good.
That looks like 1970s polystyrene high school.
God, yeah, I remember them at that. Oh God, yeah. And then the other one that came up was these two, Frankie Miller.
You're right. Tommy says the bass player has a bit of Chris Glenn going on, but
I thought that.
he does.
Tommy.
You're right, Tommy. Bon,
Aye.
sorry. You do.
I thought exactly the same thing when I first saw it. I thought it was Chris Glenn. And actually, he's got a new band. Have you heard that?
I tried to click the link that Tom Russell put on Facebook, but it just took me to the chat. So I'll have to
The
investigate.
guy's
it
a
all.
good singer.
Right.
Good singer. But so these two topics came up. Frankie Miller, as often happens on the Facebook group, came up again, and it's the usual conversation about how brilliant he was and how underrated he is. And somebody asked if he's still alive. Well, he is.
Yes.
And I know that for a fact because my brother-in-law was his carer for 5 years. So he was a really nice guy, really funny and really cheeky with the nurses. So he maybe can't sing anymore, but he's still a bit of a lasco. Don't know how he's doing now. I mean, it's been 3 or 4 years since Wiggs stopped looking after him, so I don't know how he's doing now, but he was up until 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, what a guy. What a guy.
See that Frankie Miller, he did the next night in Edinburgh Tiffany's.
Aye.
Tiffany's a small venue.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the music hall up in Aberdeen, that's not a massive place either. So I don't think that Apollo show wasn't that well attended. I don't think
it was. I mean, I'm sure I've mentioned
would have
this.
been good to go.
Oh, I'd love to have been at it, mate. Love to have been at it. I remember, I might have told this story before, but I used to go to the venue in Edinburgh, which was a little club. I used to go every night of the week, to be honest, because it was just I got in for free and we could play pool and there was usually bands on. And one night he was on and he had Brian Robertson in the band. I can't remember the other guys, but they were all names and him singing, and there was 7 people there. I mean, it was criminal, man. And he was brilliant. He came downstairs to the bar after the show. We had a drink with him. Nice guy, but he just never got anywhere close to how famous he should have been. And here's Chris saying he just watched Just a Boys game last week. Outstanding and bleak in equal measure. Yeah, absolutely. If you've never seen that film, folks, it's well worth getting hold of. I'll leave it up for a minute. It is rough and tough, but what I heard, certainly from my grandfather, he thought it was quite realistic. I don't know if that's true, but my grandfather thought it was quite realistic to what it was like with the knife gangs back in the day in Glasgow. So yeah, quite.
He was in the Gobbles.
Yeah.
I love the couple.
What?
It's a joke. It's a Blackadder joke.
Oh, see, straight over my head, mate. Straight over my head.
I think it's the Blackadder. Yeah.
And oops, I haven't seen Blackadder for years. I used to quite like it. Frankie had a voice that just affected me viscerally. Loved it. Cheryl, absolutely. He's brilliant. And some of his. Do you remember that album that had "Don't Stop" on it? Don't stop, baby. Brilliant. God, I loved that album. What a great album that was. That was later as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was later in this.
Yeah, it was a proper good album.
Good album.
Then the other topic that came up was and it was me that put it up because it's 5 years to the day that we last we're pushing the Tommy McGrory's musical. I was there. This was the year where we just did the one night at the Armadillo back in 2016, and there was quite a mixed response to it actually on the Facebook group. You know, each to their own. But some people didn't enjoy the fact that it was kids that were doing some of the music, and they were not all professionals. But everybody, each to their own. I thought it was lovely. I loved it. It was great. But some people didn't like it, but it was always thus. It would be great to have the money to actually put on the show with, bands, proper bands, wouldn't it? It would be amazing, but unfortunately,
it cost a fortune. You're right. But the band, I mean, we
did try, didn't we? We did try,
but it's not like that. I was there. It was good, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it.
But it was not like it was professionals. But
no. The first time it was, I mean, the Wildcat Theatre Company were good.
Yeah, and they were very. Oh yeah, they were really good.
They were really good.
Yeah.
I must show that video again. Actually, the last time we showed, do you remember the video we found of the rehearsals? I must show that again because that was terrific. That was. Loved that. But anyway, so that was about it, mate. I think that was about all I thought stuck out this week. So let's move on and do the bit. Do the next. Right. Now, we've...
Well,
I can't...
before you go on there,
Oh, yeah.
there's someone, Deborah McGahan.
Mhm.
McGann. Yeah, McGann. Deborah McGann from Rutherglen, I think. Rutherglen. She says, "Hey guys, what are the chances of I Was There coming back on the stage? Love this production." Well, it's not up to us, it's up to Tommy.
I mean, we did speak to him on one of the shows. I can't remember what week it was. What week was it? Week 10 or 11 or something? We're on 37 now, so a few weeks ago. And he'd love to bring it back. It's just it's the finances of it, because it's pretty expensive, Deborah.
Costs a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think hiring the hall. What did he say? I think he said that night it was 10 grand just to hire the hall. So you're looking at, it's quite expensive. They broke even, I think, the first time, and they lost money the second. So it's and I mean the Wildcat people did it very, very cheaply for him. So he pulled in a whole lot of favors. We'll get Tommy on again some night, and maybe we can grill him, see if we can find out if he can do it again. But and Cheryl's saying the Wildcat Theatre folk are legendary. I agree. They were great. I mean, the first two nights that they did were absolutely amazing. I thought I loved it. I just loved it. I was great.
Is that when I was there?
Aye, yeah. Yeah.
No, that was good. I enjoyed
you and I were backstage for most of the night. But it was amazing. So okay, so but apart from that, if you would like to contribute a video, I've not been able to check. Sorry, someone has sent a video. I've had a little problem with my system this week, and I've not been able to check any of the Yahoo emails. I'm sure James on there will be not surprised. So if you have sent one, I'm sorry. I would have played it, but unfortunately, I've not been able to check it. If you have got a memory you'd like to send to us, that would be terrific, and particularly on video, because we do think it's really important. We're going to play one, though. Andy and I said a couple of weeks ago we'd start doing this, and Doug's little short one went down really well last week, so we're going to have another short one that we both really love here. And I think we all know who this guy is, and we absolutely love this.
Hi there. Just making a small video for the Apollo website for the group members for the chat on a Friday night or whatever. I posted some photographs online this week, and they seem to have went down well. Created a bit of reaction from the comments and whatever, but glad to see that the punters like them, and it brings back some memories for days gone past. The first gig I went to in the Apollo was Queen in 1979, and as you can see from the photos that I posted, there's a young Tom Russell in one of them. But more importantly, what I didn't know at the time is that I would meet my future girlfriend many years later after that gig. Both of us were at that concert, and our paths didn't cross on the night. Obviously too young at the time, but a few years ago we connected, and we've been together ever since. So Cheryl Duncan, glad to have met you finally, and we're both members of the site. We enjoy it, love the Friday night chat, and long may it continue. Look forward to more memories getting loved. Thanks. Bye.
Do you know what I did there? I played the right video.
It's the right video.
Yes, I'll get professional. I'll get professional. It was that was the one I meant to play, but no, it's still good. I love it. I don't care, Tommy. Sorry, I know you're sick of seeing it, but I didn't mean to play your video, but we love you, man. So thanks very much. So we'll just have a quick. I'm just going to gather my thoughts for 30 seconds, and we'll be back with the one that I meant to play.
Showtime at the Apollo.
Hi, I'm Tom Russell, and when I'm not on the Max playing some records on the radio, I listen to Glasgow Apollo live.
This place rocks.
Now just imagine if we had that technology back in the Apollo days, mate.
What? That?
We could do films like that. It'd be brilliant. Yeah. So the film I meant to play is this one by Graham McDonald. Graham, I don't know if you're in. Graham has got a talent for this, and this is if you haven't seen this before, it's a real treat. think he's got some experience in making movies. So this is the memory of Graham McDonald for over Stateside. Absolutely brilliant. This
April
video.
22nd, 1974. That was my first gig, concert at the Glasgow Apollo. Deep Purple, Mark III. David Coverdale, Glenn Hughes just joined months earlier, maybe about 4 or 5 months earlier. Just toured the US, and they were just starting the UK tour. So they rolled in, and as I say, in April the 22nd, and they were there for 2 nights, and we caught the first one. My brother's friend, Stuart, who's actually on this forum. Hey Stuart, he's in Oz right now, so hopefully he's staying safe, staying well, and his brother. And we all went along that night, and it was quite a gig. I remember many things. I remember walking into the place, and it was dark, and even the lights were on, it was still dark. The Apollo stage was like a monstrous thing, like 25 feet in the air. I couldn't believe that, I was even there, looking around, glancing, all the circle boxes and everything. It was overwhelming. Support band came on after about 25 minutes, half an hour. Just this little singer stood in the front stage, long, dark, curly hair, but with an amazing voice to match. And needless to say, I took a healthy interest in this guy's career. But more about that later. So they went on, actually got a good reception. Then there was this big lull, and then the lights went down, and the noise just was nuts. It was just unbelievable. Tuning of the guitars, the drums, and then Purple just launched into Burn. Incredible just sight of all the lights flashing, and this amazing amount of like a sea of dry ice, the smoke coming off the stage, falling into the stalls, probably choking these poor sods down at the bottom who were in the front stalls. And Purple were on fire that night. They were just incredible. Burn, Might Just Take Your Life, Lay Down, Stay Down, pretty much all the songs from, I think pretty much almost the whole album, maybe 1 or 2 songs they missed. Incredible. As I say, they were all in their element. Coverdale was reveling in it, you could tell. Glenn Hughes was doing his usual gunslinger kind of guitar, bass guitar, white satin suit. John Lord, shaggy hair, denim jacket hanging over this battered piece of furniture, as he used to call it. Ian Pace, he looked like he'd broken sweat after about 2 minutes into Burn. And of course you've got the guy on the right, the man in black, just strutting about like a peacock, just giving everyone signals, telling when to come in, when to come out. You can tell Purple was definitely his band. That was even before the next band. Yeah, Purple were on fire. They were amazing that night. Everybody was, including Mr. Blackmore. John Lord's keyboard solo, immense, absolutely immense. The man's a genius. He was just one of the best musicians I think ever to come out of Great Britain. Ian Pace's solo, which I was immensely looking forward to. Again, very classy, a very solid but very classy drummer. Spacey still is. And of course you get Blackmore doing solos in between, in each song pretty much. But typical Blackmore, you just never know what you're going to get. I don't think even he knew what he was going to play half the time. It just, the natural guitarist who could just come up with just the most amazing licks and solos that were just incredible. I remember one for intro to UFO No 1, and grabbing a Coke bottle and trying to do the intro as a bottleneck, and I completely blew it. What's going to happen now? Is he going to storm off? Is he going to go in the half? Whatever. So, but he didn't. He just grabbed the actual real bottleneck from the top of the amp and then played it even more frantically. The crowd went even more bananas, and that was just it. It was just one of those nights that just wasn't going to blow. He was in his element. He was enjoying it. Then came Space Truckin', great song. It's one of these classic Purple songs, which I didn't even realise had different parts of other Purple albums, from Machine Head and even Fireball, which I thought Blackmore just couldn't stand, but there you go. It's a very clever song when they play it that way, and end part is just him just smashing the old axe against the stage, and then basically climbing up on top of the amps and, you know, going through the melee and throwing the guitar up in the air and missing it and everything, you know, great climax to a show. So then, of course, they wander off and you're thinking, are they coming back? Are they eventually coming back? Yes, they do. And then they go into a song which I don't think many people really thought they would. It was called Going Down, Freddie King's song, and it was just a jam, it's like a party song. So that was it. Walked out of there, my ears were absolutely shot. They were shot for like 4 days. And I just remember going out, walking back up to the bus, and it was raining, of course. And we all got in the bus and went up the back of the bus. My brother took out his tape recorder, which he managed to smuggle in, and started playing the tape back, and people back in the bus were just been at the gig, so we were all talking about it and we were trying to relive it, and most of it you couldn't hear. It was just an inaudible mess, but it was, you know, it was just a nice memento for the end of the night. Purple, well, Blackmore managed to finish that tour and did another one with Stormbringer, and then he chucked it, and then formed Rainbow with, of course, Ronnie James Dio, who was the lead singer of that support act in that night, Elf. So, you know, I saw Ronnie and Richie, Cozy, Bob Daisley, David Stone, Rainbow in '77. Unfortunately, Blackmore threw a moody that night, mostly down to the almost falling off the stage apparently. He just wasn't into that night, and he pretty much showed his displeasure by not even coming on for an encore, so it kind of ended pretty ugly. And then I saw Rainbow again, and it was at Ingolston, cold February, I think it was February 22nd, and they were immense. It was everything you could expect. Everything was just, it was a 9 out of 10, not a 10. Of course you get the guitar smash as well. And then in '81 I saw him again, this time with Jolene Turner, but nah, wasn't for me. Just, you know, too much posing, and I think even Blackmore told him just stand there. But anyway, that was that. But you never forget your first concert, that is. And so that was it. Deep Purple, April 22nd, 1974. That's all she wrote.
How bloody good was that?
That's very good.
Graham, you're a star, mate. I remember when he first sent me, I watched it, and then I watched it again. I thought, God, this is perfect. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And I love the fact that by mistake played Tommy's, because the two of them are both terrific, aren't they? And I think they sit brilliantly together. So loved it.
I like it. I really like that one, because it's got that's actual Apollo footage.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. I wasn't sure about that.
I'm pretty sure it is. If you look, you'll see the crowd is way down low.
Yeah. No, I'll need to watch it again.
And the smoke is going
off
over
the hill.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's Apollo. Yeah.
It was just magic, and it was great to see, you know, that gig. Imagine having the first band you ever see is Ronnie James Dio. You know, it's not a bad start, is it? Cheryl saying, wonderfully detailed reminiscence of a gig, well done. Wasn't there, but can feel the gig from your description. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly how it made me feel as well. And Chris is saying the same sort of thing. Brilliant memory video and commentary. Bloody waste of a nice Strat though. Sacrilege Blackmore. Do you know what, Chris? I accidentally clicked on the Rainbow, one of the Rainbow songs from that reunion they did recently. Oh God. He gave his Strat to the bass player, and I'm sure he did it at other gigs. I'm sure he did it before. And the bass player was such a better guitarist than Blackhead was that night. I mean, he just was not in the mood, obviously, just a grumpy bastard. I remember seeing him at Aberdeen with Deep Purple, and is it the Capitol, mate? Can you remember? Was it the Capitol in Aberdeen? Aye. And I was up in the Circle, and it was a good gig. Gillan was on form, but Blackmore decided he wasn't in the mood and he walked off, and they played the encores without him. You know, it was just very, very. But James is saying, can we see Dogs? Yes, we can, but we'll see that next week, mate, if you don't mind. And because it's quite long. John is saying, with all that dry ice, how do you know where the stage ended? Yeah, can you imagine being in the band with all that dry ice? You wouldn't move, would you? You would not want to go off the edge of that.
You wouldn't go past the monitors.
No, you would not. Now, there's a
And
lovely.
Actually, on that video there, you can see the little. There was a little. I don't know what it was. Promontory.
Aye.
Pier thing sticking out of the stage at the front there. Because you can see it on other videos, like you can see it on Thin Lizzy videos.
Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy photographs, other
T-Rex.
pictures you can see. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you can see it there. So it's the same, about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a nice.
I think Glenn had Glenn had a good night that night. I think took his top off.
Ah, well, there you go.
That's what he says. He says when I take my top off, I'm
Taps off.
not sober. I'm not sober.
Deborah's said something here that's quite nice. I'll just need to read it, Deborah. It's too long to put on the screen, but it says, I was really young when I went there. My mum worked for Rocksteady. She would take me with her. I had a deprived childhood in brackets. Saw so many bands here. Then it would be the bus stop home with mum spitting on a tissue to get rid of the purple glitter off my face. I was gutted. It was my badge of honor. Oh, that's lovely. Thanks, Deborah. That's really nice. That's a lovely memory. Lovely. Right. So I think we'll move on and we'll play some more music, mate. Do you think? What do you think? That was
sorry. I liked in that video where he goes, "We came out of the Apollo. It was raining, of course."
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It was really cool. It was really
raining,
cool.
of course.
So we're going to play a piece of music now. Everybody, unless you've been under a rock, will know this song. And it's not the greatest recording, but up until recently, there wasn't a full recording of this. I mean, it's maybe been on YouTube a wee while, but I wasn't aware of it. And we'd only ever heard one very short version of it, just the beginning. So we mentioned earlier about it being 40 years since we got the bus down to Donington to see AC/DC. So this is AC/DC in 1982. And this was the first time I ever saw them, I think.
Was that 40 years ago?
Aye.
No. Can't be.
And so this is about 6 minutes long. And what the reason I chose this is because it was the first song. And I remember when Andy found I think it was 90 seconds of it. Do you remember? You sent me it. It was just a tiny wee bit of it, just with the bell at the start, and then it's a bit funny, and then you hear the first bit, and that's it. This is the whole song. So this to me was one of these gigs, a bit like ZZ Top, that really just changed everything for me with music. So this is one that means a lot to me. It was a big gig. This
totally
big deal.
Memories of this.
I can, yeah, exactly. But if you look at the set list is really, gosh, it was. Blinking heck.
Okay.
That was it. Rock fan.
See, you just made me come back to 40 years ago. 40 years ago, mate.
I remember that. Like, God. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a band. Bloody. I tell you what, we are so lucky as a generation that we got to see that band in halls because, oh, Gordon Bennett.
Yeah.
There's a few comments, obviously. Oh, I can hardly speak. Bloody hell. Here's
that was good.
Dave saying
I
that.
Oh,
God, I remember that.
There's
a few quite good comments here. I'll just move up. James's dad saying you can feel the atmosphere too, right? At the beginning of that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. John's saying after Bond's last Apollo concert, the band came down to Saints and Sinners for drinks, and he was the barman. Excellent. What was it like? That would be a great memory. I think a couple of folk have said that. Fantastic memory. Oh dear God. Should have played that last, shouldn't I? I should have played that one last.
You don't have to play the next song if you don't want to.
No, I'm going to play it. I love it. Hey, don't
on.
start. You can go away. You can go and get a cup of tea or something.
20 minutes of this nonsense.
No, it's not 20 minutes. It's only 5 minutes. It's a short song.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, how good was that? That was as raw as it comes. Brilliant atmosphere. Totally captured it.
Yeah. What I liked about it was his singing is amazing.
Aye.
Great.
He was good back then, wasn't he? Aye.
Yeah.
And he used to get a lot of abuse for his voice, but he could sing. He was never never Bon Scott, but he was a good singer. Good enough. And
I mean, there's always a debate like is Bon Scott better?
No doubt, a better songwriter without a doubt. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he's dead.
Different type of singer, different type of lyrics.
Yes. But
different but good.
Still good.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, there's Chris saying, you're right, Scott. I don't think any other generation would be so lucky to have seen what we did. Blessed indeed. Yeah, and I was trying to work it out. Somebody was saying to me, because there was a lot of hoo-ha about Elvis Presley this week for good reason. I think it was the anniversary of his death or something, it was. And I think it was Tommy actually said, there would never have been rock music without Elvis, and absolutely right, and Little Richard and all these guys. But I think our generation, Andy, we're probably the third generation of rock fans. We're now up to about 6 or 7 generations, and some of these bands are starting to go out the psyche, because it's not long ago, but things are starting to, not AC/DC, but a lot of other bands are, and it is a privilege, and I think we're very lucky. I mean, I remember I think one thing that I always agreed with Lemmy when Lemmy said, I shouldn't like the young people's music because it's not written for me, But in rock music, I always thought it was different because you actually wanted to see the old guys, but our old guys were only in their 40s. The Rory Gallagher's and the Deep Purples and the Led Zeppelins, and they were only a generation older, or 2 generations older than us. So anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed that, folks. My God, how did we follow that?
I loved it. That was great.
That was really good.
And we didn't get bumped off.
No, we didn't. I was kind of expecting to, but we didn't. So if you go onto the YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Glasgow Apollo Live, on there is a very much growing list of rescued recordings. And the AC/DC one is at the top. If you want to hear more of that gig, we'll definitely play more of it, because they did Sin City, and I don't remember them doing Sin City. I don't remember it, but they did it. And that surprised me. But just as always, to give the guys a plug from Rescued Recordings. We couldn't do the show without them. It's amazing the way they're collecting these recordings. Got over 300 recordings now from Glasgow Apollo. Jack, Stephen and Phil, thank you ever so much. We couldn't do this without you guys. You're absolutely critical to this.
I had a little chat with Jack this week.
Did you? How's he doing?
Oh, he's fine, yeah.
Actually,
I
anyone...
I was talking about that thing, that link you sent me. The thing, documentary.
Yes, yeah.
I was complimenting him on that.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. That.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much. Chris is saying that's why this site and page is so important. It is, Chris, and it's also why we want the video memories. Yours is on next week, mate, or the week after. Yeah, it is why it's important, because we are a lucky, blessed generation. Our generation and the one before us, Andy, I think we're very, very lucky.
Oh well, Chris. I mean, Chris and Derek, just
incredible.
If I didn't know them, I'd hate them.
Aye, Ian's the same.
I'm joking, but they saw so many bands.
So many bands. I mean, it does annoy me as well. I never saw those bands. It does annoy me.
Yeah.
But hey ho.
Well,
so we're going to play.
We just got their memories.
Going to play a completely different type of music now to finish on the hour. Now, I know, because I've had a few emails this week, people saying don't change the time of the show, and because we talked about it last week that Andy and I might move the show to another thing, as more folk are going out on a Friday night, etc. But we're not planning on doing it immediately, but it might happen in the future. But quite a few folk have said, no, you can't change the show because Fish is on before you. We watch Fish on Friday, then we watch Glasgow Apollo live, so you can't change that. It's our Friday night.
Well, so and then they listen to Tom Russell.
Then they listen to Tom Russell on the Max. It's a good night. It's a good It's an 8-hour shift of music, which is cool. But so we're going to play Marillion, and I know.
Oh, sorry, they've all switched off.
Oh, shut up. Marillion are probably my second favourite band after Rush. I absolutely love them, and I never saw them at the Apollo. I saw them on this tour in Edinburgh, and that gig has been released, and it is terrific. But the crowd, no. Yeah, but the crowd are not the same. Barry, I'm sure you're on here. You might have been at that gig. The crowd was good, but not a patch on this. So this is one of the early Marillion songs, and don't worry, it's not Grendel. One of these weeks, I'm going to play Grendel, and you can all go and have a cup of tea, and I'll just sit and watch it on my own. But this is the magnificent He Knows You Know by Fish and the Gang at the height of their pomp. Absolutely fantastic. Enjoy this, Andy, mate, just for you.
This what? Right, this is for the druggies, the drug users, for the Valium children, the future Valium children. Dedication, He Knows You Know.
Oh, got kicked out. What happened there? How bizarre.
How are you?
It wasn't me. Oh dear. Never mind. Well, that was a shorter version of Marillion. I can't start it again. That's not fair. But that was the fairies, as my wee boy would always say, kicking us out there. Oh dearie me, don't know what happened there. Anyway, I love it. It's a great gig, and it's on.
It was the will of the people.
The will of the people. Now wait a minute. Marillion are a good band.
That was not bad.
They're a good band.
And they're good. I like them. I'm just
you're just taking the mickey out of me, aren't you, you bastard? Anyway, okay, right. So that's it. Just about. We're over an hour. I can't believe we went for over an hour with no bloody gigs to talk about, mate. It's unbelievable.
Someone said, "Hooray!"
Do you know who's on next week? Grendel, right? And you can all, if you don't like Marillion, we'll have a Marillion special one of these nights. But I absolutely love them.
Have we played the fish video?
I don't think so. We should do. I've got it. It's quite a good idea, that actually. Yeah, he's on the DVD that Talisman Films made, talking about the Apollo.
No, the one where he's on his Fish on Friday one.
Oh, that one? No, we haven't. Yeah. We should play. That's a good idea, actually, mate. Yeah, because he talked about it quite a bit, didn't he? That's a really good idea. Yeah, we should do that. So next week, hopefully, we'll get some either feedback from Lauder's Bar, or I will approach someone else. I don't know, the Cat House is probably the other one, Andy, wasn't it? Or the smelly place down the bottom of the road, what's it called, the Rock City, or whatever it's called.
No, they're not going to take you in if we call them smelly places.
Yeah, it's smelly. It's great. I love it. The Apollo is smelly, mate. Come on.
But you're not trying to get in there and get a deal on the bar. Or
the fella for the Cat House has said, he said on he was in the Zoom chat one night that he'd be quite interested in talking about that, us having a get together there. So that might be good. But I think the first would be better in a pub, personally. So maybe we should go to the bottom of the road, bottom of Renfield Street, and go there. But anyway, we'll hopefully have some news next week, everybody, about that. And Deborah's saying, thank you, great memories. Thanks for coming in, Deborah. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much. And we really enjoyed your memories, and thanks for sharing them with us. It was terrific. So I think that's us, mate. I think we can say goodnight. If people would like to join us for the after show Zoom, that would be fantastic. If you go to the Facebook group right at the top, the address is there. Just click that and you're in. It's always a good laugh. We talk more nonsense, but it is good fun. It'd be great to have you join us. That would be top notch. And here's Barry saying, cheers, guys. Off to Edinburgh tomorrow for live music. Oh, God, I'm jealous. I was supposed to be going to see Bruce Dickinson and it got cancelled. So I've still not been to a gig yet. So I can't wait to get to one. Right. But so my name is Scott MacArthur. Thanks very much for tuning in to Glasgow Apollo Live.
And my name is Andy Muir. Thanks very much for tuning in to Glasgow Apollo Live.
Said with such enthusiasm and passion as always. It's great.
Hey, mate. I'm up for passion and enthusiasm.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
See ya.